Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to the Bridge Gymnasium and the championship final of the 2016 Pinky Lewis Invitational, brought to you by North Pole Hoops. For this matchup, we'll pit Southwest Ferraro, who will be the guest on the scoreboard, versus TRC Academy, who will be the home team on the scoreboard. Here are your starters for this game. First, for Southwest, number 2, Brendan McCarty. Number 11, Owen Hinder. Number 15, Xavier Ochu. Number 21, Vince Carrier. And number 30, Quentin Duckworth. Head coach for Southwest is Kevin Barr. Now the starting lineup for TRC Academy. Number 0, Dion Egypt. Number 1, Ellie Nsome. Number 3, Antoine Vernon. Number 7, Brandon John. And number 15, Stephen Lemney. The head coach of TRC is Tyrell Vernon. Your officials for this contest are Mr. Joe Kemp and Mr. Steve Wilkie. Best of luck to both squads.
Welcome to McMaster University, Hamilton, Ontario. Thanks for joining us. Tarek Spate joined with Elias Spate of North Pole Hoops. Elias, we got the championship game here. Southwest Basketball out of London, Ontario takes on the TRC Wolfpack of Brantford. Coming into this game, TRC is the favorite. They've been a tournament favorite, and they have not disappointed. Long, athletic Greyhounds going up against a high IQ, highly efficient Southwest team. We need some predictions early on.
I think you want me to predict the win right off the bat. I think it's going to be TRC simply because of a lack of size for Southwest. Unless they're shooting somewhere around like 60% from three, they could remain in the game. I think they'll stay in the game for a majority of it, but I think the length and the paint presence for TRC will eventually overcome.
I'm going with the upset, Southwest. I know Coach Kevin Barnes has these guys fired up. He really got after it in the pre-game speech. Very, very intense coach. And I think these guys are going to come to play. Early on, they take the lead 2-0, and Elil Nsome, Cincinnati commit, starts it off for TRC. He is mic'd up, and we can hear what he will have to say on North Pole Hoops coming up later this week. Quentin Duckworth for 3, no good. Owen Henderson corrals the rebound. 2018 shooting guard at 6'4". Step back McCarty, no good. Elil gets the rebound, and Antoine Vernon will bring that rock up. Brandon John showing the moves. He came alive, Elias, in the semifinals, really in the second half as Elil finishes there. He came alive and had some big dunks, but he was kind of, I wouldn't say non-existent, but he definitely started off the game slow and really picked it up when they needed him the most. Now, what does he need to be able to do for TRC to get this W, but also for him to play at an optimum level?
Well, I think he's just got to start games like as if every game's a championship game. There's no off and on switch, and with him, he plays to his competition. I think in this game he'll pick it up. It's the big stage. He has added a lot of moves into his arsenal. He's got soft hands and good feet, educated feet, as you like to say. So I think Brendan John, ultimately, he's a high major prospect. Coaches in the NCAA are already taking notice, but he's just got to keep it on.
Yeah, he's definitely showing some nice signs. It seems like every time we watch him show something new. On the last possession, a little bit of a fadeaway from the baseline. And on the other end, for Southwest, to set the table, you have Xavier Ochu, who's been leading the tournament and leading his team in scoring, or one of the leaders in scoring for the tournament. They're going to need him to be big. Owen Henderson, you saw him make a 3. It's not going to be one guy for Southwest, but it's going to have to be a collective effort to go up against the size of TRC.
And you mentioned Henderson, and I really like what I've been seeing from him this early on in the season. The last time we got to see him was with SOS and London CYO. on the club level. Before that, you know, identified at the NPH Showcase here in Hamilton, actually at this very facility. What he's done since that time with regards to his body, chiseled down, you know, really gotten in better basketball shape, and as we know already, he's able to really spot up and hit that three.
And Henderson's a guy that I remember him telling me, you know, he wasn't too happy about a couple of years ago not making the top prospects game. He really took that to heart and really got back in the gym to expand his game beyond just being a three-point shooter. That will be his strength moving forward, and what he does at the next level is shoot that three ball. But you're going to see him be able to put the ball on the deck a little bit, one dribble, two dribble, pull up. And right now he has his team tied up with TRC, 7-all. First quarter action.
And that's one thing, you know, with Southwest, Coach Barnes is very fortunate because he has two players on his roster, specifically Ochu and Henderson, who have this element of self-accountability. Both of those guys took it upon themselves to really execute and take advantage of the offseason. Throughout the summer, you know, they put in a lot of reps, both from the three-point line and just get into, like Xavier right now, the way he's getting to the bucket, you know, really hard to stay in front of him.
Yeah, for Xavier, he's really, at least from yesterday's game, the way he got to the bucket, very effortless. First step, and he was gone. He didn't really have to shoot it much. And speaking with Coach Barnes prior to the game, he told me, you know what, it's not that he can't shoot it, but when you have shooters around, it's probably best to attack the rim and open things up. You know, if there's an opportunity for a kick out, you know, that's something that Ochu's going to take advantage of. And that was Steven Levniak. Very solid production from him yesterday's game. Was a big part of that win against Central Tech. He's on the board early.
And I love what I'm seeing from Levniak. You know, went from being a single-dimensional player just as a spot-up guy to now being able to work off the dribble. He's defending his position a lot better. So there's been improvements with him, and as a result, he's earning a lot of minutes on this loaded roster.
Ochu now, guarded by Vernon very tightly. Henderson moving that around. Henderson gets it back, three ball, nope. And it will be TRC basketball. Dion Edgem bringing it up to Ilil. They're gonna keep going to their money man. Misses it there. He's 3 for 4 so far. At least I think Quentin Duckworth is going to be a big part. Oh boy. As Edgem rejects that rock. You know, as I was saying, I think Duckworth is going to be an integral part of this team, both in this game and in this tournament, or sorry, in this season, because he's one of the few guys they have on the roster that has that length, that athleticism, that can defend those guys with athleticism on the other end. You know, he's got a great wingspan and can really get to different spots, but he's got to take it upon himself to lock in and apply pressure early. Right now he's guarding Vernon, and that's by design. He's got to make it tough for any entry pass passes into the low post.
Yeah, and Vernon's a great ball handler, but when you put the length of Quentin in the lateral speed, I think it causes some problems. But what we're going to see here from Vernon is he's going to start his offense from about 5 to 10 feet above the three-point line and try to open up the paint and push all of Southwest defenders up.
Right now, Ilil Nasame is getting a lot of easy buckets. I'd like to see Southwest get a little more physical, let them know that they are here. And because he's getting whatever he wants, making it look easy right around the rim. They got to remove him away from the rim, push him back as much as possible, and really make him a focal point of their defense. Checking in here is Matt Grace out of Hamilton, Ontario. Levniak on the attack, floater game, no good. Here's a Dong McCoy trying to put back. Bodies all around the rim, and Brooks comes up with it. Dekel Brooks in transition is fouled.
And that's a player that's dangerous in the open court, hailing from Nova Scotia. Very familiar with his game. You know, he's speedy, gets out in transition, can finish at the cup on both sides.
Another guy that Southwest is going to have to rely on the defensive boards because, again, they are undersized here, so it's going to take all their athletes to get up there. And they just got to ensure they limit as much as possible second chance opportunities for TRC.
And on that possession there, you saw Xavier attack the cup on the right side. And Levniak, as we said, has improved as a defender, but I think Xavier Ochu's first step is so dangerous that you're going to have to put some length on him. Otherwise, he's going to force a lot of help, and he's going to have open opportunities for teammates, whether it's a kick to the corner, a kick to the wing, or a dump.
Early on, we got a tight game, 12-11. TRC leads. Applying a little bit of pressure at Southwest. Little 3-2 press, and TRC breaks it with ease.
And the latest offer for EGEM coming from Northern Arizona, they flew out here to watch him in practice and watch him in game in the preseason. Had a lot of good things to say about him, and they feel like, in that type of conference and on that type of team and at that level in the NCAA, he could be a very productive piece.
2018 prospect, still developing his offensive arsenal, but has all the tools and the attitude. He's really a great kid. He wants to learn, he wants to grow. And he definitely has the genetics, the whole Edgem family. We mentioned Melvin Edgem, former Iowa State Cyclone. And then
superstar with the Cyclones.
Yep. And then you have Ryan Edgem. You got Edgems on Edgems. I forget all the guys' names, but one of them playing at Carleton. So basketball is definitely in the blood.
And while we're on the topic of the Cyclones, we mentioned DeKale Brooks from Nova Scotia as well, and Iowa State's actually picked up another one in a stud 2017 guard, Lindell Wigginton.
Another kid out of Scotia. You're seeing a national imprint in the basketball landscape, and all right, as we say that, Adong McCoy out of Alberta makes his mark on the game. Good action from Southwest early on, shooting the ball from the perimeter. Nice to see Xavier Ochu off the dribble. Last game he didn't have to shoot it, as we mentioned. Speaking of shooting, DeKale Brooks is now on the board from 3.
And that was the missing piece for Brooks. Now having added a three ball into his game, he becomes a threat at all times. If guys are closing out on him hard, he's going to beat them.
Covering a lot of ground right now is Southwest. Got a deflection there, was Brooks. And you have some substitutions for TRC. MJ Forbes checking in, along with Isaiah Parkinson and Adam Francolini. And that's the thing that happened last night in the semifinal, was Central Tech was able to keep up with TRC for 3 quarters, but just Coach Tyrell Vernon sent in waves of substitutions. A lot of depth on this roster. And interchangeable as well at various positions. Ochu guarded by Parkinson to Duckworth. Finds an open Brunel, who kicks it out back to Duckworth, tries a 3. Couldn't get that one to go. And here comes Parkinson. Francolini has an open 3, thought about it.
And he shouldn't be hesitating. He's definitely got that stroke. That's one thing he specializes in. He's got to let that ball fly right away.
Oh, and Xavier Ochu might have got away with a foul there. Was able to draw the contact, and will go to the line for 2. Ochu's a senior guard for Southwest and is being recruited on both sides of the border. Has some low D1 interest. No offers yet at the Division I level, but certainly has programs from the CIS looking for his services, notably Dalhousie and Western. Dalhousie's gradually developed themselves as call them a national power, made it a couple trips to the CIS Nationals under the guidance of head coach Rick Plato. Inside, Parkinson goes into McCoy. You can see Southwest is getting physical down low, making sure that they let TRC know if they're gonna take it down and pound it, it's gonna be at a cost. Tied up at 19 all. 1 minute left in the first quarter.
Very important for Southwest here to set the tone on the style they're going to play defensively. And like you said, that physicality is something that's very crucial for them if they're going to stick around in this game.
It's back-to-back threes for Dekel Brooks to take a three-point lead here. And Southwest has some momentum. Josh Masella gets his first 2 points out of Ottawa, Ontario. Again, put the pressure on. Looks like a 2-2-1 press. Great energy from Southwest. They got some momentum on their side. Here's MJ Forbes on the attack, and he will turn it over. One more possession here for Southwest with 12 seconds on the clock and nearing the end of the first.
And on the last 2 possessions there, on the last 2 steals that Southwest has gotten, you see Vince Carrier involved in both of those plays. That's one thing that he does very well, is all of the intangibles, the little things. For CIS programs looking for a guard, I would highly suggest Vince Carrier.
Definitely made an impact there to end the first quarter. It is 24-19. Swift Basketball leads TRC Academy.
This is it. The day you've been waiting for. I know you're nervous. So am I. Now it's time to go out there and put it on the scoreboard. Now it's time to see who has a heart. Now is the time to prove to yourselves and prove to everyone out there that even though you're locked up, for somebody, you are worthy of something. And you're able to do something special that no one else in the world can do. Are you ready to go out there and take what's yours? Yeah! What you've worked hard for? Yeah! Are you ready to accept the challenge?
Back at McMaster University, second quarter action for the Pinky Lewis Championship. This is all the marbles, TRC, Southwest basketball in a tight one here. Dekel Brooks with the ball, off to Jovcic. 3-ball, corner, no good, but a nice rebound there by Xavier Ochu.
I mean, who else? Who else is it going to be? Ochu playing like an MVP all tournament long, and if his team is able to pull out this victory, I think it's undeniable he's MVP.
No question about that. You won't get an argument here. Jovcic, baseline. Stolen there by Brandon John. As Antoine Vernon sets it up, guarded by Ochu. Love what I'm seeing here from Southwest in terms of adjustments. Talked a little about earlier about getting more aggressive with the bigs. That is something they have certainly done, and kind of getting them away from their initial strategy. They have rested Elil Nassam, the Cincinnati commit. I think they're limiting his minutes a little bit, but they might need him right now because they are down 7 in the second quarter.
You got to love the energy that the Southwest team plays with. They feed off of each other. They feed off of the bench. I think Coach Barnes as well has this, ferocious attitude that he brings to on the defensive end. And I said yesterday on the stream, you take the personality of your coach, just like any team that Kevin Jeffers coaches, whether it's People's on the club circuit, or if it's Eastern Commerce, or now with Central Tech, they take on that personality. And in this case, they have taken on Coach Barnes.
Yeah, and you can see that the guys really trust in what he's saying. He's getting them to buy in, to defense and offense. Again, I saw them in the huddle a couple times, and he kind of hit them aggressively out of nowhere, where he'd be calm, and then out of nowhere just blow up on them in a positive way, really in a motivational way. And the guys have responded. Early on, we didn't know what to expect from this team, but they're in the finals here, and they have an opportunity to win the Pinky Lewis Invitational title against a very worthy opponent here in TRC.
And the name that you've been hearing all stream long, all weekend long, and seeing on Twitter, Xavier Ochu, has moved into the top 50 of the Canadian National Player Rankings here at North Pole Hoops. 2017 class, takes the 50th spot, well deserving of that.
Uncommitted senior. Brooks over to Carrier, back to Brooks, tries another three, it'll be the third, no sir. And it will be TRC basketball. Good effort there by your guy, Vince Carrier, the local London product.
And with a guy like him, his athleticism doesn't necessarily stand out, his physicals don't necessarily stand out, but his motor is relentless, his effort, that is one thing that you can always control. And whether he's contributing offensively or not, he's always in the play.
Can't teach effort, and he's definitely brought that to the table. Good shot there by Dion Edgem. Kind of showing a little bit of everything as Edgem. Yesterday was more, getting a lot of his production on the offensive glass. Today here, hitting the three ball. Vernon got his hand on it there, but still Southwest basketball. Now, well, it's still a very young season, and there are a lot of names here that we're getting used to for the first time. A guy that I had heard about, but didn't really get a chance to evaluate in the past was Steven Levniak. He's a guy that's really popped up in a star-studded roster, really able to make his mark as Henderson knocks down the triple.
Yeah, with Levniak, I watched him in Brantford very earlier in this season. I think it was in an exhibition, and we already knew that he could shoot the three ball, but now he moves really well without the ball in his hands. He sets a lot of screens. He's vocal on the defensive end. He's able to defend his position now, and his value and his stock has really increased.
As Elil Nesame comes up with a big block, where Xavier Ochu last night was able to get to the rim, has had a couple of them erased. And as we were talking about Levniak, he was able to make a very simple play, attacking the rim left and feeding his teammate for the easy bucket. Ochu with it, back to Brooks. Swift holding on to a 5-point lead. Ochu attacking, loses it, and it will be TRC basketball.
And Tarek, that's Southwest's 8th second chance opportunity so far, very early on in the game, really cleaning up on offensive boards, and I think that is an area that is inexcusable for TRC, considering their size, length, and lower body strength.
Here's Edgem, was unable to get that to go. Here's Dekel Brooks. Nice bounce pass there. Beautiful patience shown there by your guy, Vince Carrier, making things happen.
And if you're a CIS coach that's watching right now, this is a guy that you gotta at least be able to track. Have a tab open on him, because he does all the little things for your team. He's Captain Glue.
He's been on the floor. I think Coach Barnes recognizes that, because when he's on the floor, good things happen. Owen Henderson to Brooks. It's like Swift trying to build momentum. Jovcic for three, can hit that.
And the Levniak and Brooks matchup there, that's one that Southwest is going to really have to exploit. Move all the guys to one side and let a one-on-one opportunity operate there with Levniak on Brooks.
But at the same time, Brooks has to be able to attack that rim. So far, we've been seeing him settle at the perimeter. Swing over. Henderson can't leave him open. Elil, nice outlet pass.
See,
Dion Edgen misses a bunny, but he cannot feel sorry for himself. He's got to get back.
I was just about to say that. You took the words out of my mouth. That's the type of stuff that gets you pulled off. And right now you see him still walking, not trailing here for a rebound. I don't care if you miss a shot, and any coach will tell you, if you're the last guy back on that, or you're not even making an effort to get back across, he's still pouting about that play, and that's...
Yeah, he's got to keep his head up.
He's better than that.
31-28. TRC makes a run there. Second quarter action from McMaster University. Lawson on the handoff, back to Lawson. He attacks the rim. Good look.
Sweet pass.
Very nice look there. Out to Lawson on the transition. He's going to attack all the way, and it's an and one play. And Red is trying to get physical with Lawson. He says, I got you, and one. That's their guy, AJ Lawson. They know they want to give it to him. Wow.
Larson.
Somebody stop this guy. AJ Lawson comes up exactly when you need him. There we go. AJ Lawson following it up, and they're going to need a timeout. Burridge Gymnasium, home of the McMaster Marauders, home of the Pinky Lewis Invitational. We are here live from Hamilton for the championship game, Southwest and TRC in a tight one. Vernon guarding Duckworth. And they lose it. Bodies on the floor. TRC coming back. Vernon trying to feed it inside. And right now I'm joined with program head of TRC, Jim Wilson. Jim, we're watching your team here in the championship game. Saw your second team rise, prep early on in the game. What's been your impression so far from your boys this weekend?
All around, great effort. Coaching staff have done a great job being able to balance minutes on a very talented staff, loaded with great players in all positions. So very happy with the outcome. And this game looks to be an exciting, good game. I think it's going to be a nice big finish.
Now, Jim, this is a fairly young program. Both teams, Rise, this is the first year that the Rise program is in existence. But talk to me a little bit about your goal, your vision for what you're trying to do out of Brantford, of all places. It's starting to become a little bit of a basketball hotbed.
Really, at the end of the day, it's about the student athlete. Really promoting opportunity for these young kids. Yes, the program is young, but the philosophies have been out there. It's a U.S. mentality that we're trying to bring to Canada, change the landscape of Canada, and I think the timing is the right time to do it.
Now, speaking of Brantford, you happen to have a pretty high-level player, too, I believe, from that local region. I know you guys have a girls program as well, but tell me a little bit about that city, that region, and why that's a home for your program.
I think at the end of the day, what we looked when we were looking to put a program in place is something that was central. Although Hamilton's probably the #1 pick, it's also the one that would be the hardest to compete in. So we've won, 15 minutes outside, and with the ability of bringing kids from all over Canada with residents is really our game changer. So small town. I did feel that it was very important to, in each program, bring a local athlete to bring in the community for the support. So yes, we have one girl in the girls program, 2 brothers, one on the prep and one on the academy team, being the John brothers, that are local boys and bring that local taste and flair to the team.
Now, speaking of, national representation, we just saw a big two-hand jam from Adong McCoy out of Alberta. Tell me a little bit about Adong and what you've been able to see since he's come over from out west. Some of the things that, in terms of progress, that he's been able to do in his time in Brantford.
I think for Adong, once again, it's the opportunity to work with a surrounding cast of talented athletes that will bring out the best in him. His fitness piece is going to change quite a bit. We're going to be putting some mass on his body, which at the end of the day will give him that larger presence. He can already jump through the ceiling. He's a raw athlete. Now we got to fine-tune the basketball skills.
Yeah, that's one thing I've said over and over again. Very few, and you can count them on one hand, the guys that fit his physical profile in the country. He's about 6'8", about a 7'2" wingspan or so. And just a freak athlete. Definitely gotta, as he shows there with his shot blocking ability, definitely gotta work on his offensive game, and that's expected throughout the season. And I want to thank you, Jim, for joining us on the stream here at the Pinky Lewis, the program head of the Rise Center and both Rise Prep as well as TRC Academy. Thanks for joining us, Jim.
Thanks very much for having me.
Thank you, no problem. And that takes us to halftime, 37-33. It's been a tight game, and Swift still holding on to a 4-point lead. We'll be back in 5 minutes for the second half.
The camera is on me live. Yes, it is. He's nodding his head. Look, it's on me live. Can you hear me? My name's Darren Sackey, and I make up for no hoops. Yo, man's chill, bro. Damn, the ball ain't even jumped yet. Dude, ball up. Ball up. Ball up. Toss me. Receive. Knock down. What? Oh! Don't rush it. Drive kick. Look out. That's barbecue chicken, bro. Bucket. Outside. Talk, turn it. Yo, let's keep going. Driving kick. And let's find open shooters. If you have one, take a move, dunk on someone, bro. You guys like 7 bodies if you wanted to. Go and take that, bro. Coach, he can't play with them. But like these guys. He's not there yet. He's not there yet. He can't play with them. He ain't there yet. Let's go. Let's go. You can't allow mans, bro. What are you dealing with? Yo, the camera's on. Shout out my boy Andrew Nemhard and RJ Barrett, dog. See me out there too, dog. That's one. It's an L1. Oh, consultant. Wow. I'm gonna walk. Get up. I'm here, man. Wait. If I'm on the left wing, I promise you I'll try to bang him. Hey, you got 3 on you, bro. Work out. Let's go. Good up, Wyatt. Let's go. Oh, and 1. Hey, I'm here. Hey, oh, he's a shooter. Everyone has a mismatch on the other team. Like for us. Just go. If you have a mismatch, just go. And then create off it.
Yeah, Iman.
Oh, that's a brick. Damn. We know Iman. Oh, wow. Yeah, boy. Shout out Raheem. Shout out Jaden. Yo, shout out Skinner, dog. Yo, why do you... Now your hands must be slippery.
See, that's what you do.
You put in your hair, dog? Wow.
Putting your armpits here.
Wow.
Putting your armpits way that nice deep, bro. Because you won't be able to put it down. You gotta catch the ball like this.
Just too many turnovers. Take care of the ball. Be careful with your passes. All your passes are getting picked off. I'm just hungry. I have nothing to eat.
Olive left. That's about it.
There's 2 yams.
2 yams.
Not even 1 yam.
2 yams and 1 slice.
That's how you. All right. Say no more. The cameraman gave me one. Chill out, bro. Yo, chill out. Holy.
Cameraman's actually right there though, eh?
He heard me talking. He heard me asking you. That's right. And then the other one, that guy. See, you hear me talking right now. You hear me asking you.
Fuck that up! Fuck that up!
Yeah.
This is for it.
Man, not even doing it, bro. Ooh. Bro, I get some material. I count on my whole right leg. My whole right leg. There's a video of me and Eman running back, both holding our hamstrings.
You gotta breathe with it. Breathe with it, Mike.
Yo, wow.
Yo, sometimes in life, you just gotta put up with it.
Yo, that's how you. All right, say no more. Say no more. Yes, peace.
To die, choose one.
Second half action. Welcome everyone back to the Pinky Lewis Invitational. Swift Academy, after starting off very strong and holding control of most of the first half, found themselves down by 4 at halftime, and quickly Brandon McCarty makes that 3 to start the half. They're gonna need a lot of him, Elias. He's been fairly quiet over the last couple games, but you know Brandon McCarty is a potent threat from beyond the 3, and proved that in that first possession.
Yeah, he definitely is, and you know, other guys on his team that we were talking about that were one-dimensional at one point added to their game, and I think he's got a lot of work to do in that regard as well. As a sniper, no doubt about it. When it's locked in, his feet are set, he's gonna hit it. When he's coming off the screen, he's gonna hit it. But off the dribble is where we need to see him develop.
They just need him to be confident right now, be locked and loaded, be a threat from the outside like we know he has been. Duckworth there, way off on that 3 ball. And Levniak brings it up for TRC. Attacking the rim, no good. Halil just continues to go to work. He's been leading the way for TRCs in double digits. Not really an answer for him. I mean, he's cleaning the glass, finishing around the rim, shooting at an extremely high rate. Henderson for 3. No, sir. Somebody, though, has got to find a body on Halil. I mean, each time he finishes, it's like there's no one to be found. I mean, he's not an easy body to miss at 6'9".
And in those situations when you're so undersized as a team, you want those guys to come over your back. You got to set them up, kind of. And if you are able to find a body, get your butt on him, get your base, your lower body set, make him go over your back, clear him, get him away from the rim a little bit, and you'll run into some good issues.
I mean, you just saw over there, the team crowded him, and he was able to miss a couple, like, looked like his first couple buckets of the game. They did a much better job there, but you can't leave that guy open, as they just did there. I mean, that's too loose. That's too loose defense. I mean, he's gonna make that 80+% of the time right around the rim. Good touch around the rim as well.
And if I'm coach, I'm telling him to get under his skin, tug him a little bit, push him around a little bit, let him get a little frustrated.
I mean, before tugging and getting aggressive, I mean, they need to put a body on him, period.
Yep.
And I mean, that's something that can easily be addressed and adjusted, but right now, Swift is down 5, 6 minutes to go. And that's been the key to TRC's offense. Find the big guy and finish down low. Here's Levniak to Vernon. Takes off from the right side, no good. Swift will go the other way. I always say it's a game of energy, and I think right now, right in the beginning of the second half, we got to get some energy from Swift if they're going to make a run here, because otherwise they're going to find themselves climbing the ladder just like Central Tech did, and then once you get them into the fourth quarter, you know, the room for error just closes in. Not a lot of room to make mistakes against the TRC squad.
I mean, there's been several other games in this tournament where Southwest has been down, you know, at halftime, has been trailing for a majority of the game, and then all of a sudden you see them go on these spurts, whether it's threes from Wellsford or DeKalb attacking the rim. They're always in the game because they're able to shoot it so well from the perimeter.
Right now find themselves down 5 with 5.5 remaining in the third quarter. Pinky Lewis Championship on the line. A tournament that's been in existence for well over 30 years here in Hamilton.
And we're really happy to partner with McMaster on multiple levels. Most of you who follow North Pole Hoops know our Hamilton NPH Showcase event, which is an identification camp for the region, open to high school athletes to come get recognized, develop their game, etc. So with McMaster, we'll be running several events together, and we're really happy to have them on as a partner.
Beautiful facility here at Buridge Gymnasium. And right now, Swift will have an opportunity to cut it down to 2 or 3. Right now, TRC in a zone defense. Not sure if that's the best look, but I guess they're trying to use their length. Was successful there by causing the turnover. And on the floor for TRC, you got 6'9" Brandon John, 6'9" or 6'10" Elil Nasame, 6'6" Dion Edgem, 6'5" Levniak, and 5'11" Antoine Vernon. So they do definitely have a lot of size there, spread out in that zone defense. Nice look there from Vernon to Elil, and another finish for that Cincinnati commit.
And I think Southwest is going to have to switch up their strategy here a little bit and double down on Mr. Elil. You know, you can settle for having Edgem or Brendan John taking a jumper, or at least try to close out on them, but Elil's the one creating all the offense here, and that's Edgem, a strong finish, going for the three-point play.
Big rebound right there from Edgem. That's something that I would say is one of his strengths, is really attacking the offensive glass. Big, strong body that's able to finish with contact. And he has an opportunity to extend this lead into double digits. Again, Swift's got to be careful that they don't get caught up here in a dry spell. I mean, their energy, their body language is sort of dying down a little bit. You could feel it as they have been down. If you lose focus, TRC will make you pay, as we just saw there. Nice pass by the big fella, you know, showing a good sense for the game, not just the big body. I really like what he'd bring to the table. I mean, obviously finishing the easy buckets, but never forcing anything.
And Southwest has awakened a sleeping giant in Elil Naseme. You know, you see him finishing around the cup now, making plays from the high post. That's one thing that I always wanted to see him, you know, make progress in. When he catches in the high post, is he able to turn in face? Is he able to see where everyone is on the floor? And on that previous play, you saw that from him.
Still interested to see what he's got in terms of an offensive repertoire. He showed it there. You know, a lot of the times it's just been finishing around the rim, but you saw a little bounce, a little dribble, one dribble hook shot.
And I can't wait.
Lots of upside for the kid.
Absolutely. I can't wait to see him at Cincy, see what they'll be able to do with his body. You know, adding 10 pounds of muscle on this guy and just, you know, really honing in on his offensive skill set. He can be a real dangerous player.
One thing you see is his length and his size, but his agility. Very nimble on his feet, able to get up and down the floor, baseline to baseline with fair ease. Ochu on the attack. And that's the third time he's gone to the rim and seen a shot blocker. You know he's going to provide that defensive presence. That's one thing I think he can provide immediately for Cincinnati as he works on his offensive game. Here's Edgem, finds a trailing Naseme. Another easy one for the big fella. And he has absolutely taken over this game. MVP candidate, it looks like.
And one thing that he hasn't showed in this game, but I know for a fact he has, is the mid-range jumper. He normally doesn't hesitate to shoot it.
Attack there by Brooks, and we'll call this guy the eraser. He's not giving anything easy. Edgem no good for three, but here's Alil again on the offensive board. He's working on a triple-double, as he's got at least 4 blocks already.
I think more of a double-double, rebounds, and you're counting the block. You think he has more than 5 blocks right now?
I mean, I think 4 to 5 blocks, but the way he's going, he's picked up a bunch of them here in the last 2 minutes. And he'll get a worthy rest there. Owen Henderson for 3. Swift desperately needed that one.
And again, Tarek, they remain in the game because of their ability to shoot that 3. They really know how to space out the floor and get the best look. Look at that. Carrier again, sacrificing his body, taking the hit. You know, in the semifinal round, he took 4 charges and the call went his way.
I mentioned him very often in terms of what he's providing outside of just offensive production. Setting up plays, gaining possessions for his team. But with Alil out, the big fella for TRC, this is where Swift has to cut into that lead. Swung it to Jovcic. Back to Brooks. No good on the 3 ball. They get a rare offensive rebound. TRC still in a 2-3 zone here. Henderson unable to make that one go.
And that was a deep one, out of rhythm. Not a big fan of that shot. Xavier here on transition.
There's a big dunk there by Dekel Brooks, and it went from a casual turnover on the other side to some momentum for Swift. I mean, TRC has to be careful they don't get careless.
And if Southwest can, you know, turn this around and make it a 5 to 6 point game at the end of this quarter, you know, they're right back in it.
1:30 left in the third. Pinky Lewis Championships will be back. Pinky Lewis Invitational. Vernon for 3. We're back to the action, and he hits it. That's a stinger right there. Fresh out of the timeout. Tyrell Vernon, head coach there for TRC. got everyone back together. They were getting a little bit careless offensively. Ochu looking for the answer. And we have a 15-point game, Elias. What does this Swift Academy team need to do? I mean, do they got a chance here to cut into this lead and make a comeback? Still about a quarter left to go, but down 15 here.
Yeah, I mean, with Naseme and Brendan John on the bench right now, they have an opportunity to at least take advantage on the boards. I know Matt Grace is quite the presence as well, but you got to make sure that he doesn't touch the ball, because he can also create a lot of plays. There he is on the turnaround, going over the shoulder.
Ochu, full head of steam, attacks it. Back to his old ways.
And I wish that you can, you know, traditionally we don't give the MVP to the losing team, but if Southwest does lose this game, I would have loved to have given that MVP to Xavier Ochu, because when you're talking about the most valuable player in a whole tournament, this guy's brought the full package. NCAA Division I programs at the low major to mid-major level, mid-minus, gotta be on this guy. He does a lot of good things for your team. He's a leader, you know, leads by example and vocally. Can shoot the three, can penetrate, can get out in transition as you just saw. He's a piece definitely gonna have on the radar.
Definitely got a maturity to him. I would disagree with you though in terms of the MVP, because you can't sleep on Elil, who anytime he steps off the floor, steps on the floor, good things happen on both ends of the floor. You know, he's easily got a double-double here in addition to the blocked shots. Jovcic outside. And good defense there, force a 24-second shot clock violation. Oh, excuse me, that's the end of the third. But they did not able to get that last shot up there to end the third. We have a 56-43 game, 13-point lead for TRC. Minutes to go, Elias. 56-43 lead. TRC in full control here. Elil back in the game. I mean, it's winning time here, and they're trying to close this out, expand this lead.
And here's a guy we haven't seen in a little while, Duckworth back in the game, Quentin that is, as Henderson makes a triple. And that corner spot seems to be, you know, where he's best at.
And they're gonna need a lot more of that to get back in this game. They did a better job of offensive rebounding in the first half, but now it seems they're getting what they want offensively as well as second chance opportunities. Zone has been working very well for this TRC squad. Lots of length to deal with, but Henderson, same spot, goes back to back. And that might force them out of the zone, but we'll see on the next possession. Francolini off the 3 ball. Here comes Ochu. Oh, great rebound there by Vince Carrier, unable to finish though. Vernon resets, spreading the floor with his team. A little screen and roll action. Brandon John elects to take it from the baseline. No good. Here's Ochu. Bounces it to Duckworth. If they're smart, they find their man, Owen Henderson. And at this point, I think you gotta make a concentrated effort to get it to Henderson. Very open in the corner. Same spot. Elil wisely closes out. Oh, they gotta find him one more time. You gotta know your personnel there. He's been wide open for Owen.
And it looks like all the shooters are on the floor right now as
Wow.
Henderson makes another 3. That's his 3rd one from the corner.
And all of a sudden, Swift's got some momentum, down 8, making this a ball game. 5.5 to go. Big possession here. Get that man, he's still wide open in the corner. And I'm thinking at any moment, these guys get out of the zone defense. Feed the hot hand. If the shoe fits, wear it. Keep Owen in the corner, attack the middle, draw the defense, and kick it back out. Simple. Doesn't look like they're switching out of the zone here. Fortunate there. Southwest turns it over, but gets it back on an out of bounds call. Eight-point lead, 5 minutes to go. 4th quarter action here live from Hamilton, Ontario. Pinky Lewis Gold on the line. Thanks to everyone for joining us. For continued coverage of the Pinky Lewis Invitational, you can follow us on North Pole Hoops on all social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. With you is Tariq and Elias Bate of North Pole Hoops. Oh, that's just another easy bucket there from Elil. Great position down low. Was able to carve out some space, gave the target up, and finished with 2.
And you can go ahead and leave that MVP on his seat for when he checks out and they get a sub in, because Eliel Nusaseme has completely dominated this game on both sides of the floor, blocking shots, grabbing rebounds, getting easy buckets.
And I know that Southwest doesn't have the size to match up with him, but again, I think that a lot of his buckets have come fairly easy. And credit him as well, getting to the right spots, running the floor, but you got to get body on him.
And that's his 9th block of the game.
McCarty showing a pulse there, able to knock down the mid-range. Hey, although TRC has had much of this lead, it's still within striking distance. Rebound there. An opportunity to cut it to 6. Duckworth pulls it up. Yup. And to 6 we go. Swift chipping away. 3:30 left. 62-56. Open once again is Elil. And that will continue to happen if they don't get a body on him. Somebody's got to dig deep, take it upon themselves, take responsibility, and step up here. Because you can't keep trading baskets. Back to an 8-point game. Henderson, same pocket there. No good from the corner. Gotta get aggressive defensively here. Good defense against Matt Grace, trying to work the post. Vernon inbounds it to Matt Grace and gets it back up top. Guarded tightly by Ochu. Good defense. And good help defense there by Ducksworth. .238 to go. Kel Brooks in the corner. TRC has not got out of that zone. Duckworth attacks the middle. Someone's got to flash into the middle and try to break down that zone to get that open 3 ball. It's worked for them each time they've moved it around and to find an Owen Henderson or a McCarty. But right now we have an 8-point lead. TRC in control. 2:20 to go. We'll be back.
Won't you buy me? Won't you buy me? Won't you buy me? Won't you buy me?
This is a Ricochet production.
Three ball there by McCarty, no good. Just over 2 minutes left to go here. And it's been the same story over and over as Elnil Nasame has dominated this game on both ends of the floor. Easily has a double-double, Elias.
Yeah, he's 1 block away from a triple-double.
Cincinnati bound, playing some big-time basketball next season. Played on the circuit with the Northern Kings there in the spring and summer. They're still, with a 24-second shot clock intact, there's still lots of time here for Swift to make a run. Only down 8 and 1:40 to go. Duckworth, 3 ball, no good. At this time, you gotta find your man, Owen Henderson. He's been hot in the 4th quarter. There it goes again, Elil wide open. Pretty frustrating to watch, kind of makes me want to get on the floor and put a body on him. I think Coach Barnes and Southwest will watch this tape and really, see how unguarded he has been all game, and just when he is guarded, he just draws so much attention to him. Underrated passer.
And it really is a tough matchup. I think Southwest has done all that they could in this game. It's only a 12-point game. They kept it very respectable here as we wind down in the final 30 seconds. But, you know, adjustments to make, maybe a lesson learned for, you know, for future games when they're dealing with bigger rosters. You just got to be able to close out on guys. Ooh, Levniak showing off his athleticism there. But you got to be able to close out and seal. And that would have been his triple-double right there.
Yeah, like you said, I think you just got to make it difficult on the bigs, get them a little bit uncomfortable. But Elil has been comfortable all game, getting his buckets, getting it with high efficiency, shooting it over 80%. He missed maybe a couple buckets, and those buckets were when he was crowded. Chu with the rebound, 16 seconds to go. Looks like TRC is on their way to the Pinky Lewis Championship. And this will be a back-to-back title for the TRC Wolfpack, as they took it last year as well. Obviously a more competitive field this time around, but they came in as the favorite, and they leave, or they will leave, as the winner.
And last year they had a very talented roster. They had Godwin Bowen as well as Justin Jackson. Justin's off to a great start at Maryland in the Big Ten.
Look out for him to be a all-conference rookie.
And it might be too soon, but one day an NBA player as well.
Canada is certainly trending upward. Over here in Hamilton, we have a 70-60 final. And that's all from McMaster U.
This is it. The day you've been waiting for. I know you're nervous. So am I. Now it's time to go out there and put it on the scoreboard. Now it's time to see who has the heart. Now is the time to prove to yourselves and prove to everyone out there that even though you're locked up, for somebody, you are worthy of something. And you're able to do something special that no one else in the world can do. Are you ready to go out there and take what's yours? Yeah! What you've worked hard for? Yeah! Are you ready to accept the challenge?